Well, howdy folks, July 3rd, Vancouver Island. If you happen to be watching Ron, here's to a happy birthday. That's your 34th, right? Or 35th. Happy birthday, Ron. Trust everybody is well and not too worried about the pig virus that other people are talking about. Keeping ahead of the Wuhan waltz. Just a couple things this morning. I noticed that the Washington Redskins are thinking of changing their name. And I guess it's their football team, call it whatever they like. But if they're trying to be politically correct, I suggest a book by D. Brown. That was first published in 1970. And the book is Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee. Perhaps it's too old a book for modern people to have read, but it's a sort of a history of the West or of America from an Indian's perspective. And I read that years ago. And I think in there, that might, not 100% sure, but I think they mention Redskins in the book. And Redskins, there's two ways. The Cheyenne used to, when they braided their hair, would wrap their braided hair with red painted buckskin. Nothing to do with the red face. But the Indians, some Indian tribes actually called the white people Redskins because they'd always be sunburned. See, Indians never sunburned. But the white people coming through out in the sun on the trail all day would be looking red. And I think that's where the name sort of a toss-up, but that's maybe where it originated. And for all you university people, you can do some research, right? You're educated or you schooled. And I see the Simon Fraser Klansmen. There's a petition to change the name Klansmen because it's the Ku Klux Klan. And of course, everybody who's gone to Simon Fraser must realize it's named in honor of Simon Fraser, the Scottish explorer who the university is named after. And in Scotland, in case people don't know, there were clans. In America, there were tribes, clans, whatever. Clans in America, you could call them whatever. Nothing to do with the Ku Klux Klan. And it's strange, when is this going to end? I think people are so damn fragile today in their race to see who can be more politically correct than the next idiot that they want to do things like this. Like I say, there's a lot of people who are schooled and brainwashed, but they really don't have a good education. And for those that don't agree, go educate yourself. I remember one of my younger brothers quit school in an early grade and was complaining one time to a businessman who he worked for that he didn't have an education. And the guy said, look, there's no excuse for that. There's no excuse for not having an education. We have a thing called libraries, and it's free. And you can go down and educate yourself on any subject you want to. So don't give me that you don't have an education. And if he's watching, he'll recognize that story, if my brother happens to be watching this. It's an interesting thing. And gosh, that was years ago when that was painted for my brother. And of course today, maybe you don't go to libraries, but we have the internet and you can really do things a lot quicker. So if you have a question on something, you can sort of research it. But don't take the first blank answer. Do some backup, because there's all kinds of garbage on the internet as well. Yeah, it's an interesting time. I see the children are dancing on TikTok. Corporations are meeting on Zoom. And very few of them realize that China is in the room with them. I mean, all these have a back door, and I find it incredible that major companies in that are working from home, people working from home, and they're all working on Zoom. Think about that. Just think about that. And do some research. The guy's in California now, but was born and educated in China, has Chinese connection to that thing. I think India has sort of banned Zoom for that. Well, they're having a border skirmish, so TikTok and Zoom and several other Chinese apps are now were discontinued or made inappropriate or illegal in some cases in India. Yeah, we're a funny bunch, you know. Here our politicians are catering to the idiots until they some knocking on their door. Just look at the mayor of Seattle. Everything was really cool. Their summer of love, the kumbaya situation, their street fair, until they came to her street. That street fair was ended fairly quickly. It's you know, we're harassing police forces around North America in the name of reform. Not realizing, politicians and governments, maybe some do, but I don't think most of them realize it, that we're crawling with terrorists from the Middle East, Africa, Pakistan. So we don't want police forces. We can have these clowns running around under the name, under the banner of Black Lives Matter. Sort of intriguing. As always, I'll put a couple links in the description section to some interesting articles. I think I added Farmer Jones yesterday, and there's some good information. Farmer Jones is a lawyer and looks at information from, like a lawyer would, sort of tries to dissect it and pull it apart and try to make sense out of it. But for today, I guess that's all for now. If you're thinking of changing some other name to be more politically correct, give it a break. Don't be so fragile. Respect and understand your history. And for those of you who haven't read "Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee," I find it incredible. You know, you speak with a lot of people, and they have all these ideas and all this facts they're finding. They haven't really researched anything. It's just what the idiots at CNN or CBC told them, or what some left-wing teacher or professor has poured in their ear. I was fortunate. I had teachers who tried to encourage you to think and really look at all around the circle, any particular question you had. There are 360 degrees on that circle, and you 360 different points of view. And then you break every degree down and break every degree down and really dig it until you come up where you can back things up with some facts and some truth. Not just sort of do a buzzword because some prime minister or some politician has stood on the bottom of their steps and said, "Here's how it is." And we go, "Oh, a revelation." You know, it's not always that way. But anyway, happy birthday to Ron again, and for all of you, take care. It's a long weekend for our neighbors to the south, July 4th weekend, and let's trust you have a safe and happy long weekend, and really dig into your history for those who haven't. Because I know there's wackos in the States, same as we have here, who don't know their history, have no appreciation for it, and just repeat buzzwords as well. And they're rushed to see who can be more politically correct, who can press this Marxist socialist idea about something for nothing. I might add that link to that song, "Something for Nothing," there. But anyway, take care, bye for now, and we'll see you tomorrow.